Hey guys, what's up? I'm back, and today actually is the 4 year anniversary of the date I had my thymectomy. So I thought it would be the perfect time to kind of just tell my story because I realized that I never shared it with you guys. So if you're interested in hearing about my thymectomy journey, stay tuned. Okay, so I've talked in the past about that first year with MG and just, despite the very aggressive treatment that I was under by my specialist, I was doing prednisone and I was doing IVIG and I was doing the Cellcept, my symptoms still were elevating, like just getting worse and worse by the day. And so, right around that time, my specialist came to me at my appointment with a new study that basically said that um, thymectomies are now a great treatment for people with MG, whereas before it was only reserved for people with thymomas. Now it's viewed as a great treatment for all people with MGs, regardless of the thymoma or not. And so there I was, faced with a choice on whether or not to get the surgery. Of course, they can't make me have the surgery. It's not like my appendix ruptured and I had to have it. This was elective surgery. And, it was a very, very tough decision for me up until that point. As I said before, you guys, I was healthy. So I've never had surgery before. The thought of even having surgery never even crossed my mind. So it was something that I really had to think about. Friends and family kind of weighed in, and the majority of them were against it. However, this was probably the first, if not the first decision that I had to make in my healing journey about what was best for me. And that required me to kind of tune out the opinion of everybody else and listen to my body and my gut and make the decision. So clearly, spoiler, I did it. But yeah, so, at the time, like I said, my symptoms were getting worse and worse. So I pretty much figured I have nothing left to lose. Like, it's already getting worse. I'm already in the hospital every month. Let's just do it. Let's just try it. And so I made the decision, and I thought I would have a little extra time to kind of prep, but it was like everything just aligned perfectly, and boom, the surgeon called and said, hey, well, I went in for my referral appointment, and just to get to know, she said, okay, we'll put you on the schedule. And when I called to do the scheduling, they actually called me back and said, hey, we have an opening for December 21st. And I'm like, who goes in for surgery before Christmas? Whatever, better late than never, right? So, or better early than late. So I agreed and we scheduled it. And things were fine. I let my job know. They were very, very supportive, allowed me to, take leave and do like work from home things so that I wouldn't, exhaust all of my leave while I was healing. My doctor or my specialist said that, it was pretty much not really in and out, like I wouldn't go home the same day, but that, the surgeon that he was referring me to he was very comfortable with, and he had been referring many of his patients to her for different reasons, and some people were back to work like within 2 days. Recovery vastly depends on like your overall health and your age and things like that. So I went in, got ready that day for the surgery, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was very, very nervous. I remember being in pre-op and laying on the gurney and being in that little paper gown and with my little scrub cap on. I think I have a picture, so I'll put it up. Um, and just like, oh my gosh, I'm really doing this. Why did I agree to do this? And I I don't know. I just started freaking out, but it was too late at that point. They had already injected me with the local anesthesia. Um, so it was like, boom, time to get it started. Um, I went in with the understanding that I was getting a VATS or video assisted thymectomy. which is minimally invasive. The way that it was explained to me is that they would do 3 incisions, use a camera and little utensils, and cut up my thymus and remove it piece by piece and stick it into the bag. But if when they, went in there and for whatever reason things went left and, it wasn't feasible to get it out the original way, they would then convert me to do a sternotomy, which is the traditional thymectomy, similar to what they do in open heart surgeries, where they cut open your sternum and open your breastplate. Very, very painful. That is the traditional way of doing a thymectomy. And typically, if you have a thymoma, they will go in that way. And of course, that recovery process is a lot different and leaves scarring. But yeah, before I knew it, I was waking up and my throat was sore because, of course, I was under anesthesia, so I couldn't really talk for like a couple of minutes. And they gave me water, and then I felt normal. But again, I was on a strict medication regimen, and I had already missed a dose, and I was coming up on needing my second dose of medication. Because again, you guys, when I tell you I was on a strict, extreme treatment plan, I was taking like 21 pills a day. So I needed to take the meds. I was feeling weak. I'm going through the shakes, and the hospital actually tried to confiscate my medication. The surgeon told me I could keep my medications on me and just take it at my normal time, because I guess she knew how the hospital is. But when the nurse came in and said, like, I need my medication, they took it from me and then weren't coming back, didn't come back as I needed them on the time schedule that I needed them to. So it was like a big to-do. But once the surgeon came in and checked on me, and she kind of put them in check and told them to give me back my stuff, things were fine. So I went home the next day. 2 days later, I went home on the 23rd. And yes, that was it. Thankfully, we were able to stick with the VATS. I didn't need a sternotomy. I do have a couple of scars, like I said. So of the 3, there were 2 on my side. I'm not sure if it was because of how they stitched me. I don't know if it's my skin type, but I actually have keloids on 2 of the incision points. And those are actually still kind of painful from time to time. Like I have like phantom pains. It was explained to me that that's typical because they had to cut through nerves. And so like the sensation of a nerve trying to send a signal, that's the pain and the sensation that I'm feeling. And they're also kind of itchy from time to time. So but when I scratch them, it hurts. I had a consultation with a dermatologist about that, and they think that they'll be able to kind of shrink them with some type of shot, but I just haven't had it. But I'm torn on, not torn. Of course, I love my skin and I want it to be perfect and smooth, but it's also just a reminder, like all warriors have scars. All warriors have, marks from the battle, and these are my marks. So should I really get them covered? I've actually thought about getting them tattooed. I don't have any tattoos. I'm so lame, y'all. Never had surgery, never broke a bone, and never got a tattoo. But anyway, yes. So what else can I talk to you about the surgery? Healing. I was kind of sore for, like a week or so. But after that, pretty much life is normal. Slowly healed, slowly got back to doing movements and different things of that nature. So I was very, very pleased overall with the surgery itself. It wasn't anything traumatic for me. Now, I'm sure what people want to know is, did it work? So up front, my specialist let me know that thymectomies are not like a boom, you're healed type situation. It can take up to 2 years from your surgery date to see the full benefits of the thymectomy. So now here I am 4 years later, and ta-da! I think I'm doing amazing. Now, whether or not this is from the thymectomy, I don't know. I can't say for sure. My last blood work did not reflect that I was in remission. However, I personally feel better than I have in so long. I feel like the thymectomy changed the trajectory of my journey, because literally that's the only thing that changed up until that point. All my medications stayed the same. I just had the surgery and things kind of started to stabilize, and then I was able to wean myself off, and here I am today on no medications whatsoever. So yes, I think that the surgery was a success in my opinion and in my experience. Would I do it again? Yes. But would I tell someone else to do it? Absolutely not, because again, that is a decision that you yourself need to make. Pray it over or meditate on it. Think about, just listen to your gut. Your body is going to tell you what should be done. Even though I had second and third thoughts, my initial thought was do it. And when I woke up from that surgery, even though of course you don't know immediately if it worked or not, I knew something was different. I felt different, like in my body. So all this over here, one accord, we think it was a great decision. I hope, well, if you have had a thymectomy, you can weigh in the comments. Let me know, did it work? Did it not work? If anybody has had a traditional, the transsternal thymectomy, and you want to come on and, talk with me and kind of just tell me about your experience, I'd love to hear it, because, I know that could be a completely different process in terms of like healing and just everything. So yes, that is my thymectomy story. It ended on a positive high note. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and I will see you next time.